Big changes are on the way for overdrafts. Now, they're due to come into effect in April, and the move is designed to protect vulnerable customers, but it could mean that some see big increases in charges, whilst it will scrap other issues like daily fees or different fees for arranged and unarranged overdrafts. But the regulator is pretty suspicious that banks have all set the same interest rate. It's just under 40%. And so it's asked those banks to submit evidence of how they came up with that figure. So let's speak to Martyn James, who's from the consumer complaints handling website Resolver. Martyn, as always, nice to see you. Just first of all, explain what's changing, and then we'll get on to why the regulator's a bit suspicious. The changes come into force in April, and it could mean a big jump for some people.
Well, it certainly will do, Ben, and in many ways this is the law of unintended consequences. The regulator, the Financial Conduct Authority, decided to clamp down on the banks overcharging people effectively for going beyond their agreed limits. Those charges would be £5, £6 a day, additional interest, and it was very clearly pushing people further into debt. They estimated that somewhere in the region of £2.4 billion was being charged in overdraft fees. Now, what they've done instead is they've stopped people being charged for going over that agreed limit, and now all of us potentially will be paying interest for using our agreed overdraft facility. This has been sold to us on the basis that we'll effectively be paying much less and in some cases nothing. However, people who are trapped in existing overdrafts could find themselves paying double what their existing payments are already.
And the regulator says, hang on a sec, all of you big banks have set a very suspiciously similar fee, and they want to know how they've come up with it. Now, we said it's just under 40%, isn't it? So it's asking them for evidence about how they got to that number?
That's right, yes. The regulators swept into action quite quickly on this one. And there are other concerns as well. Some banks have announced that they're going to be charging even more money. 49.99% is the highest I've heard. And that's risk-based, which basically means it's an additional tariff for someone who is in more financial difficulties than another person might be. So there's a whole kind of moral element about this as well, in the sense that are we charging people more who are struggling financially for staying within an agreed facility?
And the issue, of course, is that all of this is designed to make things clearer, simpler, for all of us to know exactly what we're paying, and it sounds like it's anything but right now.
Well, that's certainly the case, Ben. I mean, I've been doing this for many years, as you know, and I have sat down and tried to work out precisely how the average person's bills might be affected, and let me tell you, it's very, very difficult indeed. The big concern, though, is if people are stuck with, say, a £2,000, £3,000 overdraft. They're doing okay, but they simply can't get out of it. Now, in order to get out of this debt trap, because these rules are retrospective, they will effectively have to turn that loan into an interest-free one. But that's not the easiest thing in the world. We're hearing that some people are being told that they will be defaulted, registered as not having paid, which seems terribly unfair to me. So really, it's a case of how are the banks going to help people who already have overdraft limits get out of them with the minimum of penalty.
Good advice, Martyn. Thank you. As always, Martyn James there. He's from the consumer complaints handling website Resolver.